So, you want to write fanfiction, but you don't exactly know how. Well, it's pretty easy. You get way too invested in a fandom, and then you start writing about it. That's pretty much all there is to it. In all seriousness, though, it can be a little daunting to start your first fanfiction, so I have a couple tips to help you get into it. Although I will assure you getting started is the hardest part. Also, before I get into the actual tips, the best way to learn how to write is actually writing, so you're probably better off getting off YouTube and actually trying to write. After you watch this video, though. My first tip is to study the material you want to write about. By this, I don't actually mean study in like an academic sense. I mean like if you want to write fan fiction about a movie, rewatch the movie. If you want to write fan fiction about a book, reread the book. When you do, I want you to take note of characters, settings, and events that you want to include in your fan fiction. In particular, with characters, you want to take note of some of their habits and how they speak so you can incorporate it into your fan fiction. When you re-experience the source material, it's a good idea to ask yourself questions like what you want to see changed or what you want to see more of in the story. My second tip is to spend some time reading fan fiction. The best way to learn how to write is writing. The second best way to learn how to write is reading. When you read some fan fictions, try to take note of some things you like and some things you don't. At this point, consider what style fan fiction you want to write and read some more of those. There are canon fanfics, crossover fanfics, original character fanfics, and so many more. Some people are afraid to read too much fan fiction because they're afraid they're going to steal ideas. But in reality, you're not going to steal ideas as long as you're not directly copying them. By the way, don't copy other people's ideas. It is okay to use elements of the source material though. You are given credit. My third tip is to briefly outline what you want to write about. I'll admit, personally, I don't like outlining, but to be honest, it does help a lot. Especially when you're first getting started. One of the key things you want to do in this outlining process is identify an idea that you want to explore through this fanfiction. And when it comes to this idea, the more original it is, the better. If you have original characters, use character sheets to help you develop them. You don't need to do this for established characters though. The other big thing you want to do when you're outlining is establish the scope. Is this going to be a one-shot or is there going to be 172 parts? That way you know how to pace your story. My fourth tip is to start writing. Don't worry if it's not perfect, that's how you improve. Some notes for when you start writing, you want to start exploring that original idea you have as soon as possible. Also, personally, I feel like you should assume the readers have already experienced the source material. And remember, just get something on the page. You can always edit it later. My fifth tip is to stick with it. So many people who start writing fanfics give up. It can be helpful to come up with a writing schedule or a posting schedule and just stick to it. When it comes to fanfiction, consistency is key and readers will appreciate you if you're consistent. My sixth tip is to edit before you publish. Look, personally, I make a lot of grammatical mistakes. That's why I use Grammarly before I publish anything. They're not a sponsor, by the way. Side note, if you work at Grammarly, please sponsor me. Another big tip I have for editing is just read your writing out loud to yourself. You'll find so many mistakes that way. Or you can use one of those AI features to have your computer read out your writing for you. I'll be honest, I normally just do that because I'm kind of lazy. My seventh and final tip is to get your fanfiction out there. First, pick your platform. It can be fanfiction.net, AO3, Wattpad, whatever you want. Personally, I would recommend just sticking to one instead of posting on all three of them, but you do you. And look, don't be nervous. This is the perfect opportunity to put your writing out there. Remember, if you're really feeling nervous, you can just publish anonymously. And look, this is also a great way to get used to getting feedback on your writing. When you do get feedback, take note of it, but listen, if you don't want to do what the feedback is asking, you don't have to. It's your work. You can do what you want. Those are all the tips I have for getting started writing fanfiction. If you take anything from this video, it should be to get started as soon as possible. Seriously, stop looking up writing tips on YouTube and get started. Tell me a little bit about the fanfiction that you want to write in the comments. If you found this video helpful, please like it and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck with your fanfics. Also, if you enjoyed watching this video, I have a feeling you'll like this video too, so be sure to check it out.